1 Kings chapter 22. For 3 years there was no war between Aram and Israel. Then in the 3rd year, Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehudah, came down to the king of Israel. The king of Israel said to his servants, "Are you aware that Ramoth Gilead belongs to us, yet we're doing nothing to recover it from the king of Aram?" He said to Jehoshaphat, "Will you go with me to attack Ramoth Gilead?" Jehoshaphat answered the king of Israel, "I'm with you all the way. Think of my troops and horses as yours." But Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, "First we should seek the word of Adonai." So the king of Israel assembled the prophets, about 400 men. "Should I attack Ramoth Gilead," he asked them, "or should I hold off?" They said, "Attack. Adonai will hand it over to the king." But Jehoshaphat said, "Besides these, isn't there a prophet of Adonai here that we can consult?" The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Yes, there is still one man through whom we can consult Adonai, Milcayahu, the son of Yimlah, but I hate him, because he doesn't prophesy good things for me, but bad." Jehoshaphat replied, "The king shouldn't say such a thing." Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, "Quickly, bring Mikhayu, the son of Yimlah." Now the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehudah, were each sitting on his throne, dressed in their royal robes, on a threshing floor at the entrance to the gate of Shamron, and all the prophets were there, prophesying in their presence. Zedekiah, the son of Kenaanah, had made himself some horns out of iron and said, "This is what Adonai says, with these you will gore Aram until they are destroyed." All the prophets prophesied the same thing. "Go up and attack Ramoth Gilead. You will succeed, for Adonai will hand it over to the king." The messenger who had gone to call Mikhayu said to him, "Hear now, the prophets are unanimously predicting success for the king. Please let your word be like the word of one of them. Say something good." But Mikhayu answered, "As Adonai lives, whatever Adonai says to me is what I will say." When he reached the king asked him, "Mikhayu, should we go up and attack Ramoth Gilead, or should we hold off?" He answered, "Go up, you will succeed. Adonai will hand it over to the king." The king said to him, "How many times do I have to warn you to tell me nothing but the truth in the name of Adonai?" Then he said, "I saw all Israel scattered over the hills like sheep without a shepherd. And Adonai said, 'These men have no leader. Let everyone go home in peace.'" The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Didn't I tell you that he wouldn't prophesy good things about me, but bad?" Mikhayu continued, "Therefore hear the word of Adonai. I saw Adonai sitting on his throne with the whole army of heaven standing by him on his right and on his left. Adonai asked, 'Who will entice Achav to go up to his death at Ramoth Gilead?' One of them said, 'Do it this way,' and another, 'Do it that way.' Then a spirit stepped up, stood in front of Adonai, and said, 'I will entice him.' Adonai asked, 'How?' And he answered, 'I will go and be a deceiving spirit in the mouths of all his prophets.' Adonai said, 'You will succeed in enticing him. Go and do it.' So now Adonai has put a deceiving spirit in the mouths of all these prophets of yours. Meanwhile, Adonai has ordained disaster for you." Then Zedekiah, the son of Kenaanah, came up, slapped Mikhayu in the face, and said, "And how did the spirit of Adonai leave me to speak to you?" Mikhayu said, "You'll find out the day you go into an inside room trying to hide." The king of Israel said, "Seize Mikhayu, take him back to Amon, the governor of the city, and Joash, the king's son. Say, 'The king says to put this man in prison, and feed him only bread and water, and not much of that, until I return in peace.'" Mikhayu said, "If you return in peace at all, Adonai has not spoken through me." Then he added, "Did you hear me, you peoples, all of you?" So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Yehudah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "I will disguise myself and go into battle, but you, put on your robes." So the king of Israel disguised himself and went into battle. Now the king of Aram had ordered the 32 chariot commanders, "Don't attack anyone of either high or low rank, only the king of Israel." So when the chariot commanders saw Jehoshaphat, they said, "This must be the king of Israel," and turned to attack him. But Jehoshaphat gave a yell, so that the chariot commanders saw that he wasn't the king of Israel and stopped pursuing him. However, one soldier shot an arrow at random and struck the king of Israel between his lower armor and his breastplate. So the king said to his chariot driver, "Turn the reins and take me out of the fighting. I'm collapsing from my wounds." But the fighting grew fiercer that day, and they propped the king upright in his chariot, facing Aram until he died. In the evening, with the blood streaming from his wound onto the floor of the chariot. Around sundown, a cry spread through the ranks, "Every man to his own town, every man to his own land." So the king died and was brought to Shamron, and they buried the king in Shamron. They washed the chariot at the pool of Shamron, where the prostitutes bathed, and the dogs licked up his blood, in keeping with the word Adonai had spoken. Other activities of Ahab's reign, all his accomplishments, the ivory palace he built, and all the cities he built are recorded in the annals of the kings of Israel. So Ahab slept with his ancestors, and Ahaziah his son became king in his place. Jehoshaphat the son of Asa began his reign over Yehuda in the 4th year of Ahab king of Israel. Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he began to rule, and he ruled 25 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Azuvah, the daughter of Shilchi. He lived in the manner of Asa his father and did not turn away from it, doing what was right from Adonai's perspective. Although the high places were not taken away, the people still sacrificed and presented offerings on the high places. Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Other activities of Jehoshaphat, all his power that he demonstrated and how he made war, are recorded in the annals of the kings of Yehuda. He rid the land of the male and female cult prostitutes remaining from the time of his father Asa. There had previously been no king in Edom, but now a deputy was made king. Jehoshaphat built some large Tarshish ships to go to Ophir for gold, but they didn't make the voyage because they were wrecked at Etzion Geber. Ahaziah, the son of Ahab, suggested to Jehoshaphat that his men should go to sea with Jehoshaphat's men, but Jehoshaphat would not agree. So Jehoshaphat slept with his ancestors and was buried with his ancestors in the city of David, his ancestor. And Jehoram, his son, became king in his place. Ahaziah, the son of Ahaz, began his reign over Israel in Shamron in the 17th year of Jehoshaphat, king of Yehuda, and he ruled 2 years over Israel. He did what was evil from Adonai's perspective, living in the manner of his father and his mother, and Yarovam the son of Nevat, by which he led Israel into sin. He also served Baal and worshipped him, and he made Adonai the God of Israel angry, in keeping with everything his father had done. End of Malachim, Alef, chapter 22.